It started as a whisper, a quiet ticker symbol floating in obscure finance forums, barely making noise on mainstream news. But then it climbed, day after day, week after week. And now, everyone's asking the same question. What's going on with this one stock that just won't stop going up? Is it hype? Is it fundamentals? Is it manipulation? Or are we witnessing something historic happening right in front of us? Because while the rest of the market wrestles with interest rates, inflation, and uncertainty, this one company seems completely immune. And no, it's not one of the usual suspects. It's not Tesla. It's not Apple. It's not Nvidia or Microsoft. This is different. Let's rewind for a second. Just 6 months ago, this stock was trading quietly under the radar. It was part of a sector that most investors had either ignored, written off, or simply didn't understand. It had no meme buzz, no celebrity endorsements, no viral TikToks, just solid numbers and a vision most people weren't paying attention to. But then something changed. It posted a surprising earnings report. Revenues were way up, not just from one-time events, but recurring growth. Profit margins had expanded. Free cash flow was accelerating. And most interesting of all, insiders weren't selling, they were buying. That was the first signal. But what happened next? That's what sent this stock into orbit. Institutional money started pouring in. Not fast and loud like a hype pump, but methodical and calculated. Hedge funds, pension managers, and ETFs began adding quietly, week after week. And then came the upgrade wave. Analysts began raising their price targets. First 10%, then 20%, and then one firm called for a 100% upside from current levels. The market noticed. And just like that, the volume exploded. The stock started breaking technical levels. First resistance, then all-time highs, then psychological milestones, $100, $200, $300. Still, people kept asking, why? Let me break it down. This stock represents more than just a company. It represents a shift in how people think about the future. While others are fighting over yesterday's business models, this firm is building for what comes next. Think AI infrastructure, real-world data monetization, and vertical integration across both physical and digital ecosystems. They're not just part of a trend, they're the trend. But that's just scratching the surface. Dig into their balance sheet, and you'll see something rare in this era. Low debt, high liquidity, and positive guidance that keeps getting raised quarter after quarter. This isn't a company squeezing out profits from layoffs and cost-cutting. It's expanding, hiring, acquiring, and scaling with precision. Even more fascinating, they're not chasing consumer attention. They're capturing B2B contracts with some of the largest tech and defense firms on the planet. Long-term partnerships, locked-in revenue, patents filed, government collaborations. This is the kind of foundation that turns a growth stock into a giant. Still think this is hype? Let's talk about the leadership. The CEO is a former engineer, not a marketer. This isn't someone focused on press releases and Twitter followers. He's focused on execution, and he's been doing it silently for over a decade. That kind of leadership, that kind of patience, it compounds, and the numbers prove it. This company has now posted 8 straight quarters of revenue growth, despite macro headwinds, geopolitical noise, and industry volatility. Their customer retention rate, over 95%. Their margins, higher than most competitors. There are /&D spend, through the roof, and every dollar is turning into innovation that's driving their product pipeline forward. So is this a bubble? That's the question a lot of skeptics are asking. Let's be real. When a stock rallies 300% for 100% or even more in under a year, it raises eyebrows. And it should. No company is immune from gravity forever. But here's what makes this case different. The fundamentals are keeping up with the price. It's not just sentiment. It's results. Their price-to-earnings ratio isn't outrageously high. Their forward guidance is credible. And their expansion plans are backed by real assets, not just buzzwords. But if you're thinking about buying in now, you're probably wondering, is it too late? And that's the million-dollar question. The truth is, timing any stock perfectly is almost impossible. But the key isn't whether it pulls back tomorrow or next week. The key is whether it has room to run over the next 3, 5, or 10 years. Because wealth in the stock market doesn't come from catching every short-term rally. It comes from identifying long-term winners and holding through the noise. Let's look at what this company is doing next. They've recently announced plans to expand into new international markets, targeting underdeveloped regions with massive upside potential. They're rolling out a new AI-powered product suite that could disrupt an entire segment of their industry. And they're partnering with several Fortune 100 companies on multi-year projects that will drive recurring revenue. That's not hype. That's strategy. And the market is rewarding it. But here's what's even more impressive. Even after all this growth, their market cap still leaves room to grow. They're not at trillion-dollar territory yet. They're not pricing in perfection, which means if they continue executing, this rally may just be getting started. Now, I want to address something important. If you're a new investor, it's tempting to chase a stock that's going vertical. But remember this, past performance isn't a guarantee of future results. Even the strongest stocks experience pullbacks. Healthy corrections are part of the game. They give long-term investors better entry points. So how should you play this? Start with a thesis. Understand why this company is growing. Read their earnings reports. Watch how the leadership communicates. Follow their roadmaps. If the story makes sense and the execution stays strong, consider building a position slowly. Don't FOMO in all at once. Average in. Let the market breathe. And most importantly, zoom out. Look at what happened with Apple, Amazon, Nvidia. They didn't go up in a straight line. They dipped. They consolidated. They tested their investors' patience. But those who stayed the course, the ones who saw the vision, made life-changing gains. Could this stock be one of those rare few? No one can say for sure, but the signs are there. The price action is strong. The fundamentals are solid. And the institutional interest? Still climbing. So if you're wondering why this stock won't stop going up, it's because right now, it's one of the few names in the market that's doing everything right. Clear vision, strong leadership, solid execution, real growth. That's rare. And in today's market, rare gets rewarded. So keep your eyes on this one. Watch how it behaves during pullbacks. See if the story holds. And if it does, remember that sometimes the best opportunities aren't the ones screaming for attention. They're the ones quietly building momentum until the rest of the world finally catches on. And by the time it does, it won't be this stock won't stop going up. It'll be, I wish I had gotten in earlier.